Togbe ma bia nyebe ba bia gbanto nyebe. Hembi le chichi ami pobe ne efiaku ne obe no difia. Odona fofomi nyateƒe ya la kpa yo be ne awa wa difia la. Wotsona meta kɔdena aɖaka me ta wene bo dena se ewɔe be miaƒe dekɔnu eɖina vɔvɔ tɔgbe efia ƒe ku ɖe aleke wowɔnɛ si he mi se nenema wòle ema alo tɔtrɔvi ɖe le ŋu ye.
Yo akpa le bia ba bia nyuietɔ. Wobe nu yi me nya wa you ask the thing you don't know before ask then you understand and then follow it. Emi me nya wa ele be na bia kple susu be etsɔ megba no enu ma le dzɔdzɔ ma ele be na nye be enu ya ye bia ma ɖe kpɔ ye se gɔme nɛ. Mia tɔgbuitɔgbuiwo ke wokplɔ du ya alo kplɔ Afrika dua le gɔmedzedze ma womekpɔ wo dometɔ ɖeke ɖi fo. Womekpɔ wo dometɔ ɖeke ɖi fo. Ame aɖewo zu atsi eye ame aɖewo zu ekpe eye ame aɖewo zu to. Eya ta le mia tɔgbuitɔgbui mawoa womate etɔ alo tɔ ƒe tɔ mate fia o tɔgbuiwo ma ƒe yɔdo ɖeke gbeɖe anyigba ya dzi o. Ke etɔ ƒe tɔ ƒe yɔdo ko afia o. Elabe etɔ ƒe tɔa ƒe yɔdoa meli gbeɖe wòfia o go. Ɖeko agblɔ be papa ɖeko yewo le afi me ko yewo tɔ agblɔ si tɔ nene be yewo tɔ be yewo yi fi yeava kɔa megagbɔ o. Eɖewo va zuna elãwo le gbe me. Eɖewo va zuna tsi. Eɖewo va zuna kpe gã aɖe si ke me kpɔ kpe ma le afi ma kpɔ gake la kpɔ kpe ma le teƒe ma. Vɔ eye wodzi evi da ɖi wozu be mia tɔgbui mawo ɖo woƒe viwo va le miawo dzi ma gba woda se dzi. Me nenema wa ameɖiɖi manɔ o. Ameɖiɖi manɔ anyigba dzi o. Elabe mia tɔgbuitɔgbuiwoa wozɔ ɖe nɔnɔme ɖe dzi be womekuna wo dzi o. Elabe veduwo nye va dzɔ. Me ɖeke mekpɔ wo dzi fo. Eya ta woƒe kuku hã ame ɖeke mekpɔ nɛ o. Vɔ agba míaƒe nɔvi malɔmalɔ havi malɔmalɔa enumawoa woɖu kɔ ne nene ƒe numawo elabe gbɔgbɔwo nye wo subɔna. Ezu spiritual gbɔgbɔmenu ye wònye. Eya ta míaƒe malɔmalɔ asi de asi me kofi ma le numa wɔm me nyonyo ge ni wa yena be ŋubia va ɖo yogblɔ be adze. Ke gbɔgbɔ ma va ɖo mia ma ele be nɔvi ne wu nɔvi. Vɔ sia ɖe esime ke game mede na o elabe gaƒoƒo aɖe dede ge hafi naku. Ta ne gaƒoƒo ma dede ma la gblɔ ne viwo be megbɔna he ke edzo magbɔ toe. Ta ame aɖewo up to now ame aɖewo nɔna se ma dzi ase be kofi bu womese ŋkɔ kaka de asi ne fifia lo ke wogblɔ be ɖewo va yi le kpɔteƒe o me kpɔteƒe le be wova yi le se tsinua egbegba amewo bubum le vivim elabe mia tɔgbuiwo ƒe sacrifice ye nye ma. Ta ne wozu be wole fia ɖo zi dzi enuwo nye wokɔ lena ezi dzi ne wolé fia ɖo zi dzia ezu gbɔgbɔ.
Tɔgbe me kuku me gbɔna. Ma aɖe gɔme na mia tɔwo hafi miage ɖe efia ƒe teƒe dzi. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked Togbe that he should explain. When we were growing, we were made to understand that when a king die or a chief die, they behead people, innocent souls, to use their head to escort the king. Is it true? He said, okay, I have asked a very nice question, but he will let me understand that those days, in ancient days, people don't die. Our forefathers don't die. So therefore, they have not been buried. They don't bury them. But due to some ways of living, some hatred that we have for each other, it helps us, it makes it very, it makes us to violate the taboos on the land. So at first, when your grandfather is old enough, sometimes you will not even see him dying in a town. He will only say, okay, I'm coming, or he's going to farm. By the time you realize he's not coming back, he has turned himself to a stone, a tree, and even anthill or even a rock. So that was how our ancient people used to live. They don't die for them to dig hole and bury them into the hole, but rather when their time is due, they make them, or they just vanish. But what happened was that there was hatred among us. He's even asked a question that if you ask your father right now, that's what happened to your grandfather, he can show you where your grandfather has been buried. But a grandfather before that grandfather, a grandfather before that grandfather, before that grandfather, can we locate their grave? No. You, the one who is even listening or watching, can we locate our great grandfather's grave? But our grandfathers, we can locate where they have been buried. So that was what he was saying, that those days people don't die for them to open grave for them to put them inside, but that rather they just vanish, become to a tree, become to an animal, they turn into stone, they can turn into anything else. But because human beings have developed hatred, there was no unity among us. We have violated a great we have unleashed a different thing on it, because when our forefathers the existence of our forefathers were not known, they were all voodoo that they were living. So when we hate each other and somebody said, okay, it will not be good for you, you are doing this thing, so I will kill you. You are killing the person at the time he is not ready to die. That is not his time. So we have violated, we committed a taboo. So that was where somebody will say somebody will die and we are going to bury. But at first, it wasn't like that. So he was explaining up to the kingship side before I said, let me explain what he said. Thank you. Togwe.
Yo.
I'll bet you have been one do Fia Zijia.
Wado Afia Azijia. Pastor, Madonna Fia Zijio.
Okay.
Jirudu President, Madonna Fia Zijio. Edume Soheo, Plopa Badagba Ablafo, Wawedona Afia Aziji. Maya Ogadona Fia Sohe.
Okay.
Tama le fia pe anyi nono le zikpidia. Ablafo Wawedona Fia Zikpiji.
Okay.
Vone ozu be gbadagba ma wa dogua. Wonya be gbadagba ma wo do duama. No wa make what scalia. No wuwa. Wo wo de jaja nyenyeji.
Okay.
Ke etama watema kodo efia fa. Eta etok pe no wa gbono be egba eduama ma bobogo. David de siade na no home. Wi meka wo kwa begayo. Yeta ye maya amachichi konya amachichi no gbogboma. Wawe pona nenepe ma wo tepe. Ame owo modre wa mo efia yo do. Taleta na fia kwa le ike wo we edoji a na make wagawe aji. Okay. Yeta yo do fia kwa wo do na chami. Chami sina wa de fia gba nya yo tobe ya. Yeta chami pe fia Omadina efia da fibubu adi chami da afibubu o.
To gba pe ma bia gba mi de chami papaji. No zube omekpo America wu ko do be watan yi wo Nigeria.
Why you wanna woji fa? Bo ami ke wo nya be na bu be ko mata. Wo gbogbo eton lo mi ayo ga gbon ni be egba eduama. Be nyonyogo. Wo de bi ke be pona mmu a. Eleme no. Vo omayina efia ma do pe ya blafo obi wa chala duama wa pogbon wa ba yo. O gbon la wuga. Atenye gbon abafara ka ha o wuga.
Be seji wo wo.
Seji yo wona ile. Eta na yide duaro ma na po be gbon tu le ka kwa no cha na duama. Egbon kata o mo le duama o do da gbe ko faji. Ko ba gbon no be egbon ma yenye leader for the town.
Okay.
Ala ba ye ekplo edua azu eduama fa gbogbo ikele eduama fa egbon tu.
Tafe be menye nuko onye odo onye
awo wa to kwa tamata awo wa de se na ala ba amama no va yi de fo dowo ji a abele ke soja wo na abagbeji wa ma nyana ne ko owe ara do pa o ala bo wa ko de golomo.
Okay.
Abele ko pogbon kwa o ha pogbon.
Okay.
Ka egbon mo bo tawa wo to akodi efia.
Tano zube gomeje pe umekpo etareke wa metembe wo seji akwa.
Abo.
Odo fiema.
Abo.
Ogrodon go ben ale iho wa do fia ne ma wa ka wo.
Agadi.
Tano zube gomeje pe menya kpo nu ide ko kwa.
Nene ma ko azo imu.
Emeko.
Ta ese.
Togba pe ma de ya gome afemi do chami toji. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked Togwe, don't forget, I have asked Togwe earlier that is it true that when they are about to bury the king, they allow or they cut people's head to install the king? And he explained after that interpretation that uh, it pastors are not supposed to install king. President or the government it is not his duty to install a king, but rather it is the Gbadagba, the Ablafo, the old soldiers. Those days we call them the Gbadagba.
Yeah.
It is them, they are supposed to install a king. And you know definitely when they are doing it,
Oh. Mefi ba o le gbo o. Àgbàdo le da dúró àgbàdo ta.
So
no to re ka o ko da agba mo.
Good.
Gbogbo ba han o ya fa agbaji yan tefe.
So when it is these Gbadagba people that are supposed to install the king, and when they are doing this process, they give warning to the town that this is what is coming to happen. So everybody is supposed to be at home, no coming out. It's just like a curfew on the town. So anytime they were doing this, you realize that there are some kind of energies that descend on them, and they do their things in a harsh way. So when they ask the whole town to stay indoor, anything they will be roaming in the town in the process of installing a king. Any animal they see, they have been influenced on the spirit.
Yeah.
Any animal they see, they kill it, they put it inside their bag. So even if you are a human being that you think, okay, you don't respect customs and tradition, and they see you as the kokolo, as the egbon, as the goats on the street.
Yes.
So that is where you also end up following the animals. So it is not necessarily that when we want to install a king, we should cut people, we should kill people, but rather the disobedience of the people that makes them end up. He also added that the way they started the process of installing the king, that was how when he died, they will also bury him. So if from the beginning they did not get any head to kill, that is if nobody disobeyed the customs for him to find himself as a victim, same way at the end, when the king also died, no, they will just go ahead and do their rituals without killing or slaughtering any animal. That is how it is. Togbe, no, zbe gome jepi onu mekwa me tereke cho ya efia ha kaku nene make ablafo alo Gbadagba ka glina amo ka no home no zbe America cho me fi bo ka tan wi mare
Ele fafa de.
Okay.
Ele ba me wo de edeko nwa fa sajo. Ele ba nu kata ozube wo yina machugero. Ele ba yi wo vazi de ka wo je ofofofofo goma. Eli na wa be gbogboma nu ene. Apodu mo pe gbogbomo nu va na mo amamo oji ke na gba papa me ya duro agbare ta ame ya chok golo pla eje yida ke wo de vi obo me ga do on to vi o han le uge ka fi avanyo be ye gbla na na goma ala ba manyo no na mtefe fi happy one and mo.
Okay.
Yeta ne fi akua ala ba fofo no na duama chami kwa fofo no na duama ala ba monyo ale ko wo happy ko do chami o etia ha monyo ale ko wo happy ko do etia o yeta o de na se wa yo dua agbobe egbe kakada sinu keke alaka yo le chacha gele duama awo fi afa ko nro le duama debi le si ade kaka fo gada ni ado ho wa wo ya be ya han limine yi owo ya be kulu ya be mo te da po be awe mato kona ma ta igoro ma.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Togbe is making it clear for us to know that before the Gbadagba will embark on their journey, they even make an announcement to the town that before 6 o'clock, nobody is supposed to be seen outside. Before this particular time, nobody is supposed to be seen outside. As I mentioned earlier on, that it's a form of curfew. So I asked Togbe also that, so does it mean that from the beginning, when they did not get any head to kill, as he mentioned that the way they began it, that was how they will end it. What about the ending? Even if they are supposed to bury the king and someone also disobey, he said, yeah, it's right, because they said go inside and you refuse to go inside. So that is how the custom works. Talk by me there, Chami Pakpaji.
Yo, Chami. susu kata do na chami nena ne jo matema choko ayi de fia gbo zireka o alabe na yi de chami gbo abe de nyaji ne chami alo ne cho ye do efia ba pama la do agozi gbo jeton subo bi o la fi ma wa ba amen zigbo jeton wa cho zikpi no na nonyi ana ochi na nu po susu be jiku ile jiji no alo nya yi de gbo bo ne va de zo alabe ji hojo na nu wa ko ti asisia akoda anyi aye wa bi oba yo gbo fa oh acha ko yedi amade ba fi nla agbenye ye bi akowe na sia yo senya ka de ji bi akpo fia nto ebe ka wa yo afia na ka ne de nyaji na fia afia ma toto ge kwa do marura ame ya ba wo ngbegbla plo abi agbagba ga ba afinye yo chami nam kene chami va yo ya cho ya na chami yo ekpofo la nam
okay
ka oyo popola be popola asamasi be nya ajore eji amare ba gban efe ho fi efe nu ami ama jore du ya mapo fokpo de du akata me wa fokpo agba echo ma ga fe o ntaka to le agbe wa fu je to ko fun na epo
okay
ka no gbo fokpo o ma se yan re ko la ka wa na mo ama be yo fokpo yo ma se o ba re ka o ka bo nfi ka juro wa kon anuwa na be jiro kama megba o ba do na zikpito efia chami zikpito egapola
okay
no so ba mo le fia nchiwa o mo do fio
okay
efia mete chocho ge fia ira de nya drope ale zikpira shi ita o be zikpito
okay
abi o ga gbo be agbota anyana dibi ase madame no nwie nya mele fia manya me manye
nta ko me vanala
o do agbota ruwa ya mo gbogbo agbota ruwa tana amomo dele fia ruwa ka mo do fia yo no so mo do fia ya mo do motore be yo mo da sire jiwa ala fia la uga fa fare na ma yuwa ana be fia ajoro ziaje la be gbota ba mo lo chami mo lo kame kawe da megbe na fia me kawe le ekplo ga ko ire jogbe ta no do fia o kplo na fia gapola agbotarwa jikpito no fia so hefia momo kata ala bo wa pere fia nchi ala ba we le duama na nya joa wa we le na nya akofu wa we ina re jogbe aji aba won se ma fi ma na ohun to ebe apon mmemi e ba garo ji ojogbe aji no so ya ama ni ro biwo de ko won ekplo be we bedi kwa abara wona won gboro ha be ba duro gama alemo no ko be ba duro gama alemo no ala be le ba pa ha mo eyi na gbo gele jo me be ye yi fi ya bo se se ko mu yo ba fi mo
okay
abe gbla aham ka efi obo gomo nka aje ta le be le gere ma kwa afasio
ladies and gentlemen, Togbe is explaining the type of cabinet that surround the king. Togbe is saying that the king constitutes the next person who is supposed to be around the king is the linguist. Apart from the linguist is the person who, when you send your issue to the king, he is the one who listens to what happened, then tell the king that Togbe, this is what they said, and anything that Togbe says, he also send it back to the linguist for you to also hear. He also made mention that apart from the linguist, we also have what we call the zikpito. The king cannot be going somewhere and carry his own stool on the head. So we need someone who we call the zikpito that can be carrying along the zikpi for Togbe anywhere Togbe is going. Togbe also mentioned that we have someone called Agbota. All these people are form the group of people that surround the king, that anywhere the king is going, they also follow. He said all these people must agree that this person must be the king before the process can go on. So we mentioned the king, the linguist, the agbota, and the zikpito. Togbe should tell us how they bury the Chami also, so that we ask Togbe that what he has for today, he will let us know. Togbe, leko dina Chami.
Chami a leko di afia kwa, na namaka ko leye ma. Leko gbe di afia kwa. Do ko wo ba didia alevovo. Eyata no ba doji ha, o mana na ba wo sron ha akpo le iko di adaka mo. Ela ba me sia me va ple yepe gbogbo. Maybe wate makwe atre aha.
Okay.
Maybe wate matwe achopon kuma achi ani. Maybe wate madwe. Maybe wo di voa ebe ehia he. Wo di adaka me voa ebe ehia he. Ye hia yepe kpochi. Na mate matwe yepe kpochi akone kpochi akone zazan le pa pa leta mo matwe ni wa elebo amu dububu. Achoni. Bana ne mawa ne ba kwa ano jejem ne srolo ano jejem ne fia. Ala ba fa nane echimegbe. Do wa bia afi wa cho pe ni eta o meyi na mo di pe owo via na ra pe. Eya ta fia o me di na ototo za e o di na fia.
Okay,
to gbe Chami o katan lo.
Ta efia be ejebe no di fia pele Chami de tefo de ka.
Yema.
Ya Togbe no zbe Chami a. Okay, emeko. De tefo de ka.
Tefo de ka. Ye dana yi de beni garoa na pobo odi ame o fu bayi. Wa kle no be kofi no toya soya dia ya kala blocha ye ya ya kle wana kle. Nanema ela be fia ple Chami agbotarwa Chami nyonu Chami fe fia Chami nyonu a fe nka fe Chami ha adu agbotarwa le ke fia gba bi kwa nanema ke Chami nyonu ha edu ema ta nene pa mo wa le ma ya o mo nya obodi fo togbo o jimia to ga jimia to wa mi ajima be ki ko to ke be fio togbo ebe ito ekeji gadi baji ko itogbi kokwa ko fia pa le ko bi adi fiako na ma ko di na Chami na ma ko di na gbotarwa
ta tefele kono zbe amegba efia
Ezo na bia nya ya Ezo na bia nya ya ta na yide be ni grado wa na pobo tu na hona me ati abe ye ntobe no di le ga no tu koreji bo me ga tu koreji po eyi medipo boroma na pobo tu ko ka de date
okay
na pobo tu ko ka o ple karba de botu tui ati aba mama amapepe wunya afima ala ba maybe e ga ma te fe mo le si gobi osuba wadidi o ko da fima ta o bia na gbo ma di no di ra fo ma awo efi nyo ama no fofo mi ko ba dare ya to do mo ya tu khonam me na ni keke ale e ta na gbagbe na do be ni gradora la pobo o oko e kene won jiji be ma ya mlo ma ye ya wa mli na ma da afi ala won kuno ba mi keta o werua ba go ma se go ayi amaro awo tu kwa bo bo akoga topo pokle na gbona ti ba fu ma le ba na dogo afi wa fu po na we
okay
na ma e nwa le ma ta adowa do bia na agbotara ha do bia na maybe anyema nyama ju ma ba fi afi o kom do agbotara yo so ma ni to afanya ma ala ba fi yan wa bia ba aw papa ba ga ba lore aw mi ko fi me e fi yan wa no bo fun bo mi o to gbu o yo ji mi o nyama ba nyanyam afi mi no video ba kukuma afodo mo ko di o no ile aforo ma kura o yo do le afama
Togbo no zube efia kle Chami we wona do ya ta no zubo fo obetoku a ejebe no di obetere
tefreka po
sono to kle atukle asiche ne ma ke yo we no agbe kaka din ya fe ba kure yo chobe didi mere
allo wo po tefe po a
Togbe mi afe no wona fifia si yemi chiro nu se no le totro no zube nyon oku okwede nyon ofe de no nchu ocheku okwede nchu ofe de ne ma mi le kokko fifia mi atame
danu kata ime de odo ala ba enye kplo ba wo yen nya chi kplo yo fia na ma value o hala kala fo do ma vu ha kura fo do ma kanya ma kula wodi yo fia o ya kwa fo moto o ba be yo ko kojo ka fe yi ma tu ha fi de wa o cho gana Yes. Kana ya finyo gbo. Obo mi yojibo ya papa pe dada. Kan ba tie papa le Burkina. Aba tie mama le Nigeria. Be ti mo dero. De jo wa bia nya de be nu kata onye na ma. No ozuba ame egbe le gbo kata. Ozuba ogbe ami anu kwa. Ba fo mo po mo. Aba kwejo. No ozuba lo le ogbo ha. No ozuba ni pa. Mi ganye sroto srono wa. Fa. Mata ni atogbo ko oji etonye gavua na yifia ko mo odiro. Togbinye ko mo odiro.
Okay.
Odi de home. Ala ba aboye nwula. Hakpe. Ko mo odiro. Aye sro akwa odi kle. Da hajine la ko ma re kama. Aye ma ya fa ma je e bo do ya ma wa goma. Aye ma ya ma yokonya ma chichewa yo be akli. Akpaya leke ya fi ya togbu ale ya esro ya le ha nene ma yo jina enoima le o fe de kon kwa de kon wi ka wo ame ke me re ke mo la o to enya afi mi.
Okay, akpe. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is very important, so let me explain this one. Togbe explained that when the king died, they are supposed to bury the king together with the linguist. That's the chairman. They are supposed to bury the two of them together because when they were alive, they worked together. So immediately they die. Either the king died before the Ochami or the Chami died before the king. They were supposed to be buried at one place. And I asked Togbe that, okay, if the king and the linguist were the people who worked together when they were alive, what about my husband and wife, so a man and a woman? These two people also came together to work during when they were alive, or when the man was alive, or when the woman was alive. Were they supposed to be buried at one place? Togbe say yes. So these two people are also to be buried at one place. Whether the man died first or the woman, that thing that we've been doing, that the man will be sent to his hometown or the woman will be sent to his hometown, we don't do things like that. That was not the custom. That was not what our forefathers have been practicing. So if the husband died, they are supposed to bury the husband exactly at the same spot the wife is also what buried, not in the same grave but at the same place. If you're so the whole family is supposed to be
okay,
at one place.
Mabio, to antwele modo kwirafi ojiwa. Me ntem lo anyi rafi ojiwore. Kana okure fika na no.
The man ogbo.
Very good. Kala ba nwakata na nota faraka. Amara ma chofia. Wa ba estrofa de dume. Amaro kuna kro bo no ko ile estrofa de dume. Ala ba estrofi mo ba de estrofa la bo kwa estrofa mo pam. Because that's what they do.
So what was ben yon unchu ekugba kafra. Unchu ekugba ya yon wan lady wa de sono bubu. Ape ya ti wa to megbere. Do sono koko la gbo wa dide.
Ala ba magbonya ya no do ngobe. No wo zuba yon wa heli. Unchu aku. Yo zuba yon wa o wa hone. O bo wa na ho. Bono mo wa ho mo. Enyon ma chobe ve mo ababubua aho na meni nkeketon ala nke ka mandre ala ma ba peleka ba ala ba manya amato
oh okay
ahua ali aba gbogbon fa anyana wonu nyon ma wa ho yo ba la ababubu mo kwa azu nyon gbegbe na poyi emwe ala ba edafo yo ma ba dafo.
Togbe no zube ahuowo mia to egbe mia be video adidi la be no zube ahuowo le mia be togbo fe nu onanu onye gbogbo menu onye wona afa Kristo to melon mia togbo fe nu owo ofo e to la huo de apa ka ji yon to le fifla
o to trofo no dokyo jimi yo gbona ye tutu ema ala ba mi gbe yo da sile de konu nti happy wa hoa o ba ho no enu abaji o la ho aho to daria mega po maga no sipiji o ele abele ko wona fana ma 14 days happy na no sipiji ale bo wa le un to akhle abagba yo na o sipi gba la no si piji sro ma ga no nyi close ya ala ba e sro akua ya ne ka sro akua lo kon kwa te wa ma ga ya kwa da fika da ka tu kura ala bo wa ho no pete afi amagbe oba ko sinapulation ava fi ofika ti yo da foto ro ya kanu wa ho no bo yo pa bo o machi le nya bo o pia ke le pia ba gbona fo mo bo yifia e wa ho avo ka o ba pa ba live wa no ozugbo no bi so wa pa no bi de live o pa ba tema de wa atema de
ntu ofe no bi de
ntu ofe no bi aba America je yo ma le searching kwa wa le ti fi like no ozugbo no bi ntu vi la yo ma fi like na me ga ba li wa ala ba no bi o ma na kosro apoji azunu babla la fama eta muslim torwa o te na nyo no ma vola para kama tano zuba wo me ba li gba wa e choike me ba li okwa no bi ontu ala ba target aba ofofo melio ifofo melio pa so we poji se keye na de mo bo o ya te poji ba ka ya imade ba ya jinju ni
okay
bona da pa be ye jinju ani ya ima poji o kana o ba kura e we la de gbebo o ayo ozuba ajivi na mama ha nduru dire fuma fa
okay the conversation is just getting interesting. I've asked
me plamaro ni da si mi zore nwo ma cha nene ma ke ya ma le gbe me ma na yi ke gbe apo ba afi e ke la achi odume la alo ma yodume le yi me le gbogbo pon kwa ya ba yin tokuna abi ajora fi bubu tana ozuba de nyon fi lai yo ozuba me li okun no bi on tu poro kwa alo ba hwe wọ́n náà bí inú òun ẹ̀ka pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ alábẹ́ náà bí inú òun máa ánùnà ẹ̀sọ́ wa yọ̀wọ̀n ají pọ́m. alábẹ́ ọ̀nà jí pọ́m. kẹ́ni ò bá yọ̀n náà lápọ́n tún búbu la alábẹ́ bá gbé ní yín náà dàsí léjì ní. náà dàsí léjì ní òkúwa kẹ́tẹ̀ jọ. gbàgbà kọ́ yẹ fòfẹ́ bí ó kọ́ yìí dẹ́ ní tìmá gbọ́ fà fíàfù dèviọ́ ní yòó lo. ẹ̀bẹ̀ wò máa nọ́fíà. Yan ti jima yan to ma tin tunu
togbe apere ka mi ako egbeto ko sere fi enya le vivi apa mi ako egbeto ko sere fi kwa ke video pa bobo ma mi ako amachi doyo ke togbe wona ako to me ladies and gentlemen enye gbenye zigba nto ke ele mi apo anu ihe wona mi ko nyebe onto ipo si chogo me kefie ale ike asem kaka vale vivi kwa yefugbe kraba ni to go ma nu pole megbe call me the invisible man me krajibe amegero se enya ogome vohwe ma amegero se nya mi mi no video kle so bemka na mi le kpore ma timio that video na mi loa ame yo ho no be no mi ka o part 2 of nufafia ya mi add the comment section na me na mi kwa na mi ase call me the invisible man no me ka call me ore aka call me echo bye bye